She's CEO, bitch. Kristin Cavallari is back and she's taking over Nashville. Tonight we got to meet her scandalous new staff. We talked dating with Kelly, and we're going to be breaking down some internet buzz. So get ready because we're breaking it down live.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Okay, we got some Nashville twang going on. I'm feeling it. I'm not one for country music, but I feel like since it is, you know, we're kicking off the new season or the premiere season of VERY CAVALLARI, and now that Kristin's in Nashville, I'm like, okay, I'm here for it. All right, guys, we are going to be meeting Kristin's new staff members. We are going to be meeting some of her friends. We talk dating with Jay Cutler, her husband. And then my lovely co-host with me, Susan, is going to be breaking down some news that we read about Kristin and her family. So get ready. And we also have a fun new segment called Boss of the Week, where we're going to be nominating one of our favorite staff members. And they're all a little drama-filled. But get ready, because it's going to be fun. It's VERY CAVALLARI episode 1. I'm Zack Peter. You can follow me at Just Plain Zack, and with me,
Susan Pinckney. I'm SUZQ 90210.
Yes, and we're so excited. We're your panel for the VERY CAVALLARI After Show.
And I'm excited. And very nice to see you again, Zack.
Yes. If you guys didn't catch our little preview on Thursday night, you get to tune in here with us every Sunday night, because we're breaking it down live. So, Susan, before we get in deep into these topics, what were your initial thoughts from this first episode?
Well, I felt like it was so good. I enjoyed it. It did not disappoint, but I felt like there was so much in the episode. Like it was action packed. There was not a dull moment. And I got little vibes of The Hills, like with the lighting in the restaurant and the lighting in the house. Like I felt like, I'm not sure if she got the same like DP or the same cinematographers, but it really looked and felt a little Hills-ish as well.
Yes, and I'm sure that was very intentional because they know, like, this is the show that she comes from. It's interesting, though, because as you see people talking about the show, they refer to her as a cast member on The Hills, but she was really, like, a star of Laguna Beach.
Absolutely.
But it was The Hills that really kind of put them all on the map, and she was really on the last 2 seasons of The Hills. So I find it interesting that that's like how she's being referred to. It's like she was on The Hills and now she's on VERY CAVALLARI.
I was gonna say it's always whatever you did last.
Yeah.
So they'll remember you from whatever you do last.
There we go. So why don't we get down and dirty with the staff, because they are very well, some of them look like hard workers, and then we have others that look like a bit of slackers, and I'm like, why is Kristin even hiring them? So let's break them down. First one, Reagan. What did you think of Reagan?
Reagan. I think Reagan was cute, of course. I mean, and she knows she's cute, even with her little nicknames that she called herself and she said everyone else refers to her as. I think she plays up the dumb blonde. Mm-hmm. She works really hard at playing that up. But we all know that she's probably really smart and a little calculating.
Okay. Do you think that she's just playing it up for the show?
I think I obviously we're just meeting her, but I feel like that's her persona in real life. Okay. Like she wants people to underestimate her so she can come in really and like just blow you away.
See, I didn't get that at all. I just thought she was really high. The entire episode. I was like, homegirl's eyes are a little droopy.
Did you really?
I was like, she's either smoking some weed or she's popping some Xanny, but like she's just not. Her eyes were too droopy, is what it was. Her eyes were too droopy, and she talks very slowly. So I think part of it. I think we're both a little right on this one. I think she's fallen into this kind of chill vibe, and so she just continues to play that, and that kind of feels like her role.
Well, even when she helped Jay with the cones, and it was supposed to be her project, but she grabbed 2 cones and let him do all the work. Like she tricked him into thinking that they did it together. Like I just think she's one of those girls.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Kristin said it when they introduced her. She's like, she looks dumb, but when you get to know her, she's actually really, really smart. And I'm not quite clear what her role is exactly, other than kind of just like sidekick that like sort of does stuff.
Right. They said once the store opens, she's going to be an assistant in the store.
Yeah, but I feel like she's like sort of an assistant right now, but it's like she shops for food. She bought like a watermelon that like she didn't even bring a knife for.
Did she not say that she blacks out in the grocery store?
Yeah, she's like blacked out 24/7. I feel like it's more than just the grocery store. But I have to say, by the end of the episode, I really did love her. I was like, she's an adorable sidekick character.
I agree. Yeah.
Okay, we'll see. I mean, I'm hoping that there's some, brains that come from that blonde hair. I'm blonde myself. I know that the bleach definitely numbs some of the brain cells, but I'm hoping we get to see a little more from Reagan. I think she's a little underestimated this episode. Okay, let's talk about Shannon. The redhead firecracker. And just like lazy, right?
Yeah, and she said it, but it was like a proud moment for her. She was like, I don't have to work hard. And she's on the complete opposite page as Kristin regarding her job and her job responsibilities.
Yeah.
So I just felt like, I don't know, she and her main goal everywhere she was to start trouble already. Yeah. Like, she's a bully. And, I don't like to throw the word bully around, but when you are in a room snickering across the room about someone else in the room, and that's bullyish. Yeah.
And I feel like I think she's another one that's also trying to play this character now that she's on a reality show where she's like, I'm Shannon and I don't really work that much. And it's like, I don't know if I would be saying that on a reality show about your boss's business. Like, she really was like, okay, like owning that slacker title. That's what we're going to call her, Slacker Shannon. I think, I don't know, like, try, like, work a little bit, like, don't, like, if you want to get another job after this show, like, try to show you're somewhat of a good employee. And I agree, I didn't like that she was, like, talking about Britney behind her back, which we'll dive into later in topic 3, that kind of friction that we saw and that little altercation that they had at the photo shoot. But I just feel like I don't know, she plays, like, the cute, dumb...
I felt vibes of Mean Girl.
Yeah.
Like, if it were high school, she'd definitely be at the cool table and she'd be the one dictating who else could sit there with her. So
totally.
Yeah.
She's going to be the bad girl of the show. She's going to be the one that causes drama. She's going to be the one that, like, pokes into everybody's business. She's going to try to tear Britney down. I think it's because she's intimidated by her.
For sure.
But on that note, so we see Britney. Britney has long hair, very dark eyebrows. She's the store manager. She's very pretty. Both Shannon and Britney also seem to be dating country music stars named John. Shannon's dating John with an H, and Britney's dating John, Jon, John. And I feel like everybody's dating a country music star in Nashville aside from Kristin Cavallari.
Absolutely.
Is that the thing? Is everybody?
Well, Nashville, what was it? Don't date truckers or musicians. Yeah. Nashville is one of those cities where it's full of musicians. It's full of, it's a very music-oriented town. Yeah. It's one of those places, it's kind of a sexy city. It's one of those places where if you go to any...
I don't know if I would consider country music sexy.
But it's not just country. It's,
okay.
There's jazz. Yeah. Of course, these guys were country musicians. Right. But there's a little bit of everything going on there. There's a lot of songwriters there, singer-songwriters. So...
Yeah, I feel like that's another important cast member is just the city itself of Nashville. Like, that's its own character.
Absolutely. And I loved it because... it's about time that Nashville gets a real spotlight. Yeah. It's a cute place, and it's not as syrupy Southern as some people would think that Nashville would be. It's kind of a metropolitan city with beautiful architecture.
Have you been?
I've been several times.
Been to Nashville.
Yeah. So when I worked in sports, we would go for the winter meetings every year, and so I spent a week at a time in Nashville and loved it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, looks like we got to be taking a trip to Nashville soon. We got to be checking out Uncommon James.
On location.
I know. We got to go and Insta story live from Uncommon James. We'll hope Kristin's there. Yeah, I think that covers all of like the staff members that we got to see. We see some of the other characters. We see Jay. We got to see her best friend Kelly. And I think there are a few other staff members that we'll probably get to see more in depth as the season progresses. But like you said, there was so much happening in this one episode that I think they really just wanted to introduce these three, primarily Shannon and Brittany.
Absolutely. And I do want to touch on Kelly, though.
Yes.
I loved Kelly.
Adorable.
And her relationship with Kristin was kind of pure and fun and, kind of fantasy-like, like they're still little girls, even though they're grown women, and Kristin lives vicariously through her friend Kelly. So I love their relationship.
Yeah, because Kristin's like the married one, who's like settled with kids, and then we have Callie, who's like young and single and living her best life. I love it.
So, hey, AfterBuzzers, our network produces after shows for nearly all your favorite TV shows. From dramas, reality TV, sci-fi, and more, there is no network that works harder to serve television fans, but we need your help. We're asking that you please subscribe to one or more of our YouTube channels. By subscribing to your channel, or to our channel, YouTube will suggest content that's tailor-made for you, and you'll help AfterBuzz continue to grow. And if you're worried about pesky notifications, don't be, because they're optional. So hit that subscribe button now for this channel, and check out our other AfterBuzz YouTube channels as well. Let us know that you did so in the comments, and we'll thank you on air. Make sure you do that.
Yes.
And for now, thanks for being the best fans and for helping us be the ESPN of TV talk.
That's right. We love it when you guys subscribe, and we love it when you guys engage with us, so please keep it going. And again, like we just said, hit that subscribe button for the reality channel, because they want to stay up to date with us, right?
Absolutely.
They want to know when Very Cavallari After Show is going to be on.
And you got to talk about it with someone. Like,
Exactly.
after you watch it at home and you're the only one up, or, your kid's asleep or whatever, and you want to talk about it with someone, talk about it with us. Right in the comments.
You can join the live chat every week, too. We'll go back and forth with you. Yeah, you don't want to miss it, especially us, because you love Kristin, and you're going to love us, right, Susan?
Oh, for sure. No question.
Faux show. Okay, so since we were talking about Kelly, I want to talk about how Kristin, like you said, is living vicariously through Kelly. So she was like helping her, get her dating life. I mean, I feel like she should have it together at this point, but she was, helping her spice it up again. Kelly's what? She's dating Hot Canadian. That's what they named him.
They named him Hot Canadian. And I love how, first of all, I think it's just for fun. Mm-hmm. And unless, of course, he shows up on the next episode. But I feel like it's just for fun, because if they met and they talked for 10 minutes and then she never heard from him again, he might not be into her. I mean, bottom line. But, of course, he enjoyed talking to her and enjoyed flirting with her. So he's going to Instagram her, while he's home with whomever.
Yeah. I feel like we could have picked, a better photo of him. We have, a very grainy, small face pic from Facebook 2009. I feel like we could have found his Instagram and pulled something a little better. So I'm hoping that we do get to see more of him. I feel like they probably introduced him and showed his face because we might see more of him. I'm predicting, and I know I'm jumping ahead of predictions, I think we'll actually see Kelly go on a date with Hot Canadian.
I hope so.
I don't know if it'll last beyond that one date, but I definitely think he signed the release, and he'll be on a date in an upcoming episode. I love how they had that scene where they're in her bathroom and they're talking about him texting back so soon and playing these games. What do you think about dating games?
Unfortunately, dating games are necessary. It feels bad when you're an adult and that you're playing a game because you don't want to. You just want to be upfront and straightforward, but upfront and straightforward doesn't get you anywhere sometimes. No. And I love that even though Jay was kind of annoyed that they were all giggly little schoolgirls, at the same time, he gave her good advice. He said, wait an hour. And they're like, no, why? Okay, because he's a guy and he knows that that would at least make him, be on the edge of his seat waiting for the text to come in.
See, but I feel like it's so hard to play these games now and knowing what the time frame is, because it's okay, is he waiting an hour or did I just get ghosted? Because that's the worst. When you're okay, he's playing hard to get, and then it's nope, he's just not texting me back ever. I can't deal. Kelly, I'm rooting for you.
Of course,
I want this to work. She's adorable.
I agree.
And she has, her cute little wavy hair.
Oh my God, I loved her look. Yeah, and the fact that she does hair and makeup for the musician, so she's going to be put together and polished. Mm-hmm. And I feel like maybe that's why she's still single too, because she is a career woman. Lady. She probably travels with some of the musicians, and she just didn't have time to date. But I'm not sure it's her priority either. I know that obviously she wants to date, but it doesn't feel like it's her priority.
Well, I mean, eventually you got to make it your priority. You don't want to be single forever. Advice from my grandma. No, I'm kidding. I did not dig, though. I don't know if it was the photo shoot look, because we talked about we love Kelly style, but which popped into my head. I didn't dig Kristin's white turtleneck look.
Oh,
that was not my
really?
favorite. I loved her in the orange and black outfit that we saw at the top of the season.
Yeah. You mean the sweater that Jay picked out?
Yeah. Well, yeah. If he's picking out all of her outfits, I didn't love that one.
Well, I like the warm, like fuzzy, cozy feel of the turtleneck of the sweater, and I feel like it was more practical, which makes sense if Jay picked it out. It was practical versus, fun or fancy. I feel like he's just a practical guy, and obviously when she's with him, that's the kind of woman that she is. Yeah.
I like that we see like little bits and pieces with him, and he always has like a little nugget that he'll just throw in there.
I'm falling in love with Jay. Like I don't understand. I know like especially football fans know that he's not always he doesn't play the game. So he's in his own world. They have all these memes of him just being himself. Yeah. And he makes all these like faces, and he just seems to like not care about what's going on around him. And he showed us that tonight.
Yeah, he definitely does not care.
But I love him. Yeah. I love how he's so competitive. Even with getting to school, like dropping the kids off, and he was like, I was there 20 minutes early and I was still 10th in line. Like he turns everything into a competition. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering though, is he one of those people who's just really into the moment? Or is he trying to cope with not having anything to do all day?
I think he's really in the moment. I love how he opened it up with she's like, what are you doing today? And he's like, nothing. She's like, you never do anything. He's like, I stay I keep my schedule clear in case anything just happens to come up. I was like, that's called unemployment, homie. Like we need to find a hobby. I loved him though. He was and I like their dynamic. I like that we now get to see her be boss lady, you know, where she really allowed him to have the career now that he's retired. Like now we really kind of get to see, the roles shift. And I think he likes staying at home.
He seems really good and well adjusted in that role. And, what are you doing today? I have a 2:00 appointment, pick up the kids. Like he seems really excited about that. But that's going to get old really fast.
Yeah. He's going to need to find a hot... I mean, maybe he'll be, racking clothes at Uncommon James. Aligning up the jewelry.
Or maybe that's where the deer watching comes in.
Oh, yeah. There we go. Yeah. I don't think I would want a deer watch for fun.
Yeah. I don't know.
Is that a Nashville thing?
I've never heard of anyone in my entire life deer watching unless they were like hunting or something. So, yeah, I have no idea where that comes from.
Is it like whale watching? Like whale watching, but like country?
True. Yeah. I don't know. That's a good one. And well, he you know what? I don't know where he's from originally, but he really has turned into the country guy. Like even in the first scene where he comes in with the elk that his father.
Yeah. Well, she said that they moved to Nashville because that's where he wanted to raise the kids. So he obviously
went to college there.
Yeah. He has some type of, I don't know, interest in Nashville. I mean, I've never been to Nashville, so I can't knock it that much. But like, I don't know if that's his vibe. More power to you. She can open up another store out there. She's obviously making the best of it. Do you think he's as scary as the staff members seem to think he is?
A little bit. I mean, I don't think he's scary. Obviously, maybe they're younger and maybe they just see him doing the grimacing and all that. I don't think he's scary, but he is, you can tell, very regimented. And he doesn't want people parking in the grass. I understand, especially if he takes pride in his home, and in his grass and in his lawn. Those are small things to young women who don't care, and that's not their vibe yet. Mm-hmm. But as you get older, you start to care about your grass. You start to care about your home and the curb appeal and all those things. So I can see why they call him scary. But I just feel like he's one of those people that likes things in a particular. He likes everything in order. Yeah.
They definitely seem to be like a very, I don't want to say, what's the right word? Like they, not OCD, but they are a little bit controlling, both of them. And you see that when they get into their roles, when they have that position of authority. And I think that's why some of the staff members seem to fear him or seem to think that he is a little scary. But we saw it like in the Super trailer, because they showed a lot more scenes at the top of this episode than they did in the original trailer. And we see Kristin, and she is very, you know, strict boss lady. And we even saw her get mad at Shannon about not posting on Twitter and Pinterest.
Absolutely.
I mean, there are like 4 platforms, and all you're posting on Instagram and your whole job is social media. Like, Shannon, get it together.
But she doesn't care, remember? She doesn't work.
She should care. And you know who else should care? Our listeners, who are probably, if they're listening to this feed right now, hopefully on iTunes, they should hit that subscribe button, because we love when you guys subscribe, and we love when you leave us great reviews. You can, you know, when you're not watching us on the YouTube, you can definitely listen to us on the iTunes. Download that app, hit the subscribe button, and we're there for you, right, Susan?
And you can do that at work, and no one would ever know.
Exactly. You can do it on your commute. You can put your headphones in and, you know,
you can be just like Shannon.
You can be just like Shannon. Then you can tweet with us afterwards. So definitely hit that subscribe button. Leave us a good review, because we love good reviews. And
Absolutely.
You know, you want us to keep doing this every week. Let's talk Shannon versus Brittany, because that was like had me on the edge of my seat, and I feel like that's going to be one of the cornerstone drama storylines this season. So Shannon clearly has a problem with Brittany, but Brittany doesn't really seem to have a problem with Shannon until she sees that Shannon has a problem with her.
Absolutely. Walking in on her, talking bad about her.
Yeah.
That's, never a good feeling. And then the response of, it was easier to say it behind your back.
That was awful. Like, look, if you're going to say something behind somebody's back, at least, have the, courage to say it to their face, or be willing to say it to their face, especially if you get caught. And also, if you're going to talk about somebody, like, fine, like, talk about it over drinks with your girlfriends outside of work.
Absolutely.
Like, you're going to have that coworker that you don't always vibe with, and you're going to want to be like, so-and-so was just annoying today, and you have a glass of wine and you chat with your girlfriend and you vent.
Absolutely.
Not when you're at work and she's like 10 feet away from you. Like, that was stupid. I like that Brittany actually, like, approached her and was like, I heard what you were saying, and that wasn't cool.
I agree. And then there was one point where Shannon said something about, well, why didn't she say something in that moment? Well, I have so much respect for Brittany for not saying something in that moment.
Yeah, not appropriate.
Because if you say something out of anger or in that moment where your feelings are hurt, that's when things get really ugly and they blow up and they get nasty. Mm-hmm. So she had the restraint to wait and talk about it later. So I much respect to Brittany for that.
Yeah, I think Brittany is definitely the star on the team. I think Shannon's the star on the show only because she is going to be the bad girl and she is going to cause a lot of drama. And I think Shannon's intimidated by Brittany. I think she's jealous.
I agree.
I think, Brittany has something that she either wants or it makes her feel insecure about something, and that's why she has to constantly... Because, if you think about it, like, what is Brittany really doing to her that's that awful, other than has a larger position than Shannon?
Yeah, Brittany's doing her job and doing it well and taking it seriously. Actually, Brittany likes her job and likes to work, so that's a big difference.
Yeah, Shannon doesn't seem to really like her job that much.
So I think the fact that Brittany is no nonsense, gets the job done, is there to not only be one of the girls on the show, but to actually get the brand going.
Yeah.
Shannon is threatened.
Yeah, because Shannon said that she was worried that Brittany was going to start telling her how to post social media stuff. And she, she's like, and what if it goes wrong and Kristin doesn't like it? And then that's, I'm the one that posted it, but it was really Brittany's idea and I don't want to be the one to blame her. But it's like, she hasn't even told you anything about your social media position. Like, she's busy trying to run this store and get it open. Like, she doesn't really care that much about what you're doing. I think she's leaving her to kind of run her own position.
Absolutely. And she's speculating, like, she created drama or created a hypothetical fight that hasn't even happened yet. So
I just feel like Shannon wants to be the trophy wife. She's like doing this as like a side gig until John makes it big in country music and can like take her on tour with him, and then she can just be like a pretty Instagram wife.
Which, maybe that's her calling,
Pretty Instagram wife? Yeah, it takes a lot of effort. You have to curate your feed. You have to use the same filter. You have to plan out your aesthetic. It has to all look cohesive. You have to build that following. Got to build that brand. So you have
to help me with my Instagram, apparently. Because you know a little too much about that.
I know all the buzzwords. Got to make it pretty. Yeah, I think this is definitely going to be a big storyline later this season. Are you Team Shannon or Team Brittany?
Oh, gosh. I am Team Britney in real life. Like, I know that she's the best person for the job that she does, and she works hard, and she's authentic, and she's just one of those people that you can trust. And if you were ever in her presence, you know that whatever you needed to get done would actually be done. But in this situation, I love Shannon too. I mean, Shannon's amazing. Like,
she's the bad girl you love to hate.
Exactly. And we know that Shannon's always going to be poking the bear. So I like Shannon for that, and I like what she's going to be doing on the show.
Shannon is the Kristin.
She really is. Yeah. I'm sure she probably went back and watched all those old episodes and said, okay, let me emulate this, let me do that, because she like, really is.
In 7 years, I'm going to have my own reality show on E. I got this. And on that note, I think we should move into our special segment.
Sounds fantastic.
Let's do it. Okay, so every week we're going to be basically swatting the episode and picking who we think is the boss of the week or whoever we think really owned this week. We're each going to weigh in. Shannon, who would you say is your boss of the week?
I have to say, and he doesn't work in the store, but I have to say Jay stole my heart. I mean, I'm in love with him. Like, I feel like I want to see more Jay time, so I love him on the show. I
have to agree. I picked Jay as well, and I think he was very just, like, indifferent, but, like, gave us so many, like, memes and gifs that people are probably going to be tweeting all night. And when I was looking at the conversation on Twitter as the show was airing, like, everybody loved Jay. They called him Indifferent Jay.
Oh, gosh.
And they loved it. Yeah. So Jay, you are boss of the week this week, and we love it, and we need more of you.
And I'm inspired to watch Deer now.
Okay. I don't know if I would go that far. More power to you, Susan. More power to you. Okay. Oh, should we do some news?
Oh, news is fantastic. Yes.
Yes.
So there's a lot out there, actually.
TV news.
Break it down, Susan. Okay, according to the LA Times, Kristin Cavallari and Jay Cutler just list their Nashville mansion for $7.9 million. It is set on 8.5 acres of wooded hills and nearly 20,000 square feet with 25 rooms. Okay, just stop for a second. Kitchen. Marinate on 25 rooms, okay? And it was built in 2007. Includes a home theater, a library. I'm guessing the library was Jay's idea. I'm just saying.
It's gorgeous.
7 bedrooms and 8.5 bathrooms. So there was a preview tonight for next week's episode where they were actually discussing whether or not
obsessed with this house.
They would sell their house after they've made it their own and they worked so hard to make it their own. So I guess Jay won that argument.
I mean, why would they want to leave? It's so pretty.
It's gorgeous. And I mean, every little detail about it. I love the white room too. The I guess it was a living area. It was beautiful.
Do you think they're selling it because it's featured on the show? And like they don't want people to like now that their house is being seen,
you know,
or just cut her that great of a paycheck that they get to upgrade. I think probably the former.
I think this might be, you know, we were wondering what Jay is actually going to do after football, and you know he's going to get bored, and I think this might be his thing is the real estate.
Okay.
And
I'm here for it.
It's beautiful. I mean, I know if I had $7.9 million and had the opportunity to live in Nashville, I would love to live there.
Yeah, why not? It's a gorgeous home. I love that white room. I love that bedroom. The library looked like it was lacking some books.
Books are hard to find nowadays, too, you know?
Just go to Barnes & Noble. I'm sure there's one of them in Nashville. It's got to be one open.
It's gorgeous.
It's almost Amazon Prime Day. They can just order a bunch of books off of Amazon, stock it
up. Just throw some Kindles on the table.
There you go. Love it. Okay, what else we got?
Well, here's the bad side of reality television. So the show, as we know, just premiered tonight. And 2 days ago, Radar Online brought up something that happened back in 2011. So Kristin's dad filed for bankruptcy back in 2011. Like, that's old news, okay? Mm-hmm. And it's now becoming headline news because it was the house that she was in during the Laguna Hills show. And apparently it was a $10 million bankruptcy case. And I just feel like, you know, we're going to see a lot more of that because there was 7 years is a long time for, you know, things to happen. And I feel like anything and everything that transpired in their lives is going to come up.
Yeah. I mean, and let's be real, Radar Online's thirsty, and they know she's relevant right now, and they want some action. Trust me, I'm not a fan of Radar Online, but that's a different story. Okay, well, sorry, Kristin's dad. Do we have a name? Kristin's dad?
Kristin's dad.
Okay, I'm sorry,
Mr.
Kristin's
Cavalleri.
dad. I know it's been, 7 years since he filed for bankruptcy. Hopefully you've figured out your financial situation. You've got like a financial planner.
And for me, I feel like obviously if he was $10 million in debt, that means he was probably like a boss anyway, like making big moves, and maybe something went bad, like a bad investment.
Making money moves.
I did think that in my head at that time.
Okay, what else we got?
And the last story, according to People magazine, Kristin said that she would cringe if she had to watch any of the old episodes of The Hills.
That's fair, because those were technically her quote-unquote college days?
Yeah, yes.
She was 22?
Absolutely.
I mean, if there were cameras following me around at 20, 22, I would not want to rewatch any of that footage. I feel like we all have a period of our life where, embarrassing things happen that I don't want to relive. I feel her. And she was definitely the quote-unquote bitch on the hills, and that was the character they made her play. That was the whole, persona they gave her.
Yeah, and it reminds me of when the show started tonight. She said that this was her first interview. They didn't do interviews on Laguna Beach or The Hills. So that tells me that obviously they were not only creating these characters and these storylines, but they didn't give them an opportunity to tell their truth.
Right.
And at least with the interviews, they're able to tell their own truth in that brief moment as they're speaking, to the camera.
And now she's an EP on the, or EP, executive producer. Yeah, she's an EP on this show, so she gets a little more control and gets to really see the behind-the-scenes mechanics, where it's not just the producers controlling or instigating what they're doing.
And she said she's making herself more accessible to the girls and everyone else on the show.
That's good.
So that it doesn't happen to them what happened to her, or what she feels how she was edited on those other shows.
I feel like that's tricky though, because when she did it back in the day, that was very you didn't know the game. You were really just playing.
Absolutely.
Whereas this is, we've seen reality shows, and I feel like all of these girls, they somewhat understand the game to a degree. They grew up, or at least at some point in their, adolescence to early adult years, consumed reality television. And I think we see that a lot with Shannon. She's really kind of playing up this character. I think we see it a bit with Reagan, where they're playing who they think they're supposed to be, or what their role is supposed to be on this reality show, and they're building their image.
Absolutely. And I also think because it was so pure then, that you could just show a scene or a casual scene of two people talking and having a conversation, but now you have to amp things up to keep everyone's attention. So reality television has changed. It's evolved.
Yeah, it's evolved. And I'm definitely curious to see what Kristin's take is going to be after this airs and she sees the full edited version, how she compares that to when she was last on reality TV. Love you, Kristin. And you know who else we love? We love some of our fans. We had some people comment.
That's so awesome.
I know. It just started. We taped the pre-show teaser trailer on Thursday night here at AfterBuzz, and you guys were just as excited as we were. So because we want you to comment more, we're going to give some shout outs. Mimi Esquives said she was excited for the show, and
awesome.
T Beret 320 says she loves Lauren. So now when I initially read that comment, I thought she was referring to Lauren Conrad, but it looks like there was a Lauren on tonight's show. Brittany's friend, her name is Lauren.
Oh.
So
clarify. Let us know.
T Barrett, T Barrett or T Beret. I'm giving it a fancy twang. I don't know how you spell it, but let us know in the comments which Lauren you were referring to, because I thought it was Conrad. And thank you guys for commenting. Comment more and we'll give you shout outs every week. And let us know what you guys thought of tonight's episode. And you can also tweet us and Instagram us. We'll respond to you because we like to interact with you guys. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube and on iTunes. Was there anything else?
No. I enjoyed talking about this with you.
Yeah, I loved this season. Really started off with a bang. And now I'm really excited because I missed Kristin.
It's going to be good. And I believe Kristin is setting us up for a really good season.
I agree. Should we do some quick predictions before we close out?
I would love to.
Okay.
Reagan said
and now,
she was...
your AfterBuzz TV
Predictions. Hit it, Susan.
I was a little excited about that prediction. But Reagan said she was into Gurney. Gurney being John Gurney, who is Shannon's boyfriend. So I'm hoping maybe, especially we saw that there's a little friction maybe coming up between the two of them, Shannon and John. So I think there might be a little love triangle or makings of a love triangle.
Okay. Yeah. I think Shannon is definitely the one. That's the girl you want to steal a boyfriend from if you want a storyline on the show. Any other predictions at large?
No. I just feel like that this is going to be a really good, complicated, intricate series. It already is first night. There's so many relationships that are cross relationships, the two Johns working together. So it's a really good setup.
It is. I'm excited. My predictions at large, I think we're definitely, obviously, going to see more of Shannon versus Brittany. And my prediction is that one of them will probably get fired. Or this close to getting fired this season.
Wow. That's a heavy prediction.
It is. But I think it's going to happen. I'm pretty confident that if it doesn't, like, fully, if there isn't a full fire, like, Kristin's going to have to sit down with them and be like, you were this close to being fired. You can quote me on that because I'm almost pretty sure this is going to happen by the end of the season. Yeah, I think that was my main prediction. I think we're definitely going to see more of Kelly, and we're going to see her go on a date with Hot Canadian Guy. Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you.
Episode 1, Very Cavallari. I'm Zack Peter. I'll be here every week. You can follow me at JustPlainZack. Tweet me your thoughts. DM me on Instagram. I will respond, and we'll give you shout-outs.
I'm Susan Pinckney, and you can find me at SUZQ90210, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Please send us comments.
Yes.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.